Welcome to Confessions of a Godly Wife. I'm Eunice, your host and your spiritual midwife coach, and I help wives find joy in the midst of a broken marriage. Today, I want to welcome you back to our series entitled The Real Wonder Woman. Today's episode is going to be entitled The Armor of the Warrior Wife. Now, one thing you never see Wonder Woman do is walk into a battle uncovered. Before the fight begins, the armor is already in place. That's because warriors understand something very important, and that is protection is not optional when you're in a battle. And the same is true spiritually. As a warrior wife, you cannot afford to enter into a spiritual battle uncovered. You cannot be emotionally exposed or spiritually unprepared. Because whether you realize it or not, your armor determines how well you will endure your battle. Now, Wonder Woman's armor is very symbolic. It's a symbol of her strength and readiness. Every piece has a purpose. It's not for decoration, but it's definitely for preparation. And a warrior wife has armor too, but ours is spiritual. And this is why Ephesians 6:10 through 18 tells us to put on the whole armor of God. Because God never intended for you to fight exposed. So let's break down that armor. First is the helmet of salvation. Now, Wonder Woman's tiara protects her head, and spiritually, the helmet of salvation protects your mind. Because many battles begin in our thoughts, even before they ever appear in reality. Next, we have the breastplate of righteousness. The breastplate protects the heart and the vital areas. Spiritually, righteousness will guard your heart from condemnation, shame, and compromise. Then we have the gospel of peace. Even your boots matter in the battle. Spiritually, peace will stabilize you. Because when a warrior panics, they become unstable in the battle. And then we have the shield of faith. Wonder Woman's bracelets deflect attacks. And spiritually, your faith will do the same thing. Your faith will block fear, doubt, lies, and discouragement before they can ever get to you. See, the enemy often attacks the areas that are uncovered, which means when your mind is uncovered, then confusion can enter. When your heart is uncovered, offense can enter. And when your faith is uncovered, you better believe fear will enter. Ephesians 6 does not tell us just to admire the armor, it tells us to put it on, which means our spiritual protection requires intentionality. You cannot expect to survive a battle spiritually while remaining uncovered. And when you really think about it, armor changes how a warrior approaches battle because protection produces confidence. This is why, as a warrior wife, you have to stop treating your spiritual preparation casually because prayer matters. The word of God matters, and guarding your mind matters. Because your armor is not about how you look, it's about how you endure. And you have to prepare before the battle arrives. So then the question becomes, where are you spiritually uncovered? Because whatever remains uncovered becomes available for attack. I want you to remember this, that God never called you to fight unprotected. He equipped you before the battle ever began, which means your responsibility is to wear what he has already provided. Armor alone does not win battles, Warriors also need weapons. In the next episode, we're going to talk about the greatest weapon a warrior can possess, and that's the truth. But before we close, I want to speak directly to the woman who is listening and knows that this series has been personal for them. Maybe you are in a difficult season in your marriage. Maybe you are facing separation, silence, betrayal, confusion, or maybe you're even in the middle of a divorce process and you're trying to hold yourself together while also trying to hold on to hope. And deep down inside, you're saying, God, I don't even know how to navigate this anymore. Well, I want you to know that you don't have to walk through this season alone. Over the course of this series, we've talked about identity, spiritual warfare, standing in the gap, and learning how to fight spiritually instead of emotionally. And because I know how heavy these seasons can be, I've officially opened my coaching schedule for wives who are navigating challenging seasons in their marriage, especially those of you who are believing God for restoration. So, whether you're separated, whether you're in the middle of a divorce process, or even you're already divorced, but you still have questions, maybe you're grieving and you're hoping for healing and restoration, this space was created with you in mind. When you work with me, my goal is not just to help you survive, but to help you become grounded spiritually. I want to help you move from fear to faith, from confusion to clarity, and from emotional reacting to spiritual understanding. Together, we can focus on your healing, your identity, prayer, spiritual strategies, and we can strengthen your relationship with God. Trust me, this journey is bigger than just saving your marriage. It's about who you become in the process. So, if you're ready for support, guidance, and a safe space to grow through this season, I invite you to apply for coaching. You can find my link in the description. I would truly be honored to walk alongside you in this journey.